Hello Tripletians, good morning. Hope you are all safe and doing well. It's a very good initiative from RGU BA to reach out to alumni and speak with you and sharing our views and thoughts with all of you. This is Rohit Kumar Mara from B09 batch, currently working as a quality engineer at Arca Solutions in Pune. Today I would like to present various courses offered in CAD and CAE softwares.
Mechanical engineering is a very vast field. One of our junior friends put up a question on what softwares a mechanical engineer should learn in order to land up in a good career path in mechanical engineering. In mechanical engineering, there are four major areas like manufacturing engineering, thermal engineering, design engineering, and industrial engineering. It depends upon the person in which area he or she has interest. There are many softwares to learn, but learning so many softwares is of no use until you put that into practice and work on that. I would recommend learning at least one course from CAD, CAM and CAE. Summer and your free times in the college would be the best time to invest your time on learning these softwares. Softwares that help mechanical engineers are of the following types. CAD stands for Computer Aided Designing, CAM Computer Aided Manufacturing, CAE Computer Aided Engineering. Along with CAD, CAM and CAE, a bit of coding is also a very useful skill to have for a mechanical engineer. You might probably wondering how coding is helpful for us. Let's take one example. Take any automobile industry which is manufacturing outer body of a car. Okay. Earlier what engineers used to do, they used to go to that particular part and they made sure that each and every nut and bolt is in its place. But this is not the case today. Robots took that place. Automatic robots are fed with a set of instructions which guide them to do that particular task. A mechanical engineer's main job is to ensure that all correct parameters are fed into the system and the end product is planned as per the design or the drawing. In order to feed all the data into the system, we need software such as Python or MATLAB as mentioned in the slide. Well, we'll take another example. We'll just go back to thermodynamics for some time. I think you all might be knowing about the PV diagrams. These PV diagrams, right? So if you want to calculate the pressure and volume at each and every instant in the combustion chamber of an IC engine, you need to take out the formula and you need to calculate it manually. This is very time consuming and repetitive task, right? So in order to make it simpler and faster, we need to give the formula. We need to feed the formula into Python's code or MATLAB algorithm, and we need to give the boundary conditions, sufficient boundary conditions, so that it will automatically plot the PV diagram, and this PV diagram is more accurate than your manual calculations. Okay, this is how the coding is helpful for us. Hope you all understand it. CAD, Computer Aided Design. AutoCAD is where it all starts. We drew a lot of engineering drawing sheets in our engineering classes. Let's just do that with more accuracy and neatness in a way, in a format that can be sent around the world at any point of time. Learn software such as CATIA and SolidWorks, which are helpful for designing any product. CATIA is an efficient tool for 2D surface modeling, and SolidWorks is a very helpful tool for 3D modeling. You can design any object. For example, you can design Harley Davidson bike or your favorite Royal Enfield bike. Trust me, this is a very fun tool to learn. Below are the recommended courses in design: product design using SolidWorks, sheet metal design by using CATIA V5, geometric dimensioning and tolerance, plastic design by using CATIA V5. Geometric dimensioning and tolerance. I know all of you have come across this term in your metrology course. For example, if I ask you to manufacture a 25 mm hole in a plate, Can you manufacture it with exact dimension as 25 mm? No, you cannot, because there are certain errors in a machine tool which will affect the whole size, right? So always a product engineer allows such slight deviations, which we call tolerances, on the product without affecting its functionality, right? So GD&T talks about this. CFD and FEA, both these courses comes under CAE, Computer Aided Engineering. CFD stands for Computational Fluid Dynamics. FEA stands for Finite Elemental Analysis. Let's talk about CFD and FEA. CFD, Computational Fluid Dynamics. Have you ever thought how engineers measure temperature inside an engine during combustion, or how engineers know the fuel flow inside any engine? Obviously we cannot send camera or thermometer inside an engine when it is working. The physical conditions will be too extreme to be measured directly. This is where CFD comes into the picture. Using CFD, we engineers build a virtual environment where we can test the systems and acquire approximate results. It is also economically positive since computer simulations are way cheaper than prototypes. We can compute flow of any liquid or gas in a system using CFD and acquire the needed readings. CFD is important because of three main reasons. First, it is cost effective and time consuming. Second, can investigate flow of liquids in challenging conditions. Third, it provides detailed insight into a flow behavior. Let's take a heavily loaded truck example. A heavily loaded truck obviously consumes more fuel because it has to oppose lot of drag force acting on it. In order to reduce the fuel consumption, one engineer came up with the idea of modifying its aerodynamic design. In order to verify his aerodynamic design, there are three possible tests any manufacturer can perform. First, the road test. Second, the wind tunnel. And the third, the CFD. If you take road test, it will give accurate results for sure, but it is quite expensive and time consuming. Second, wind tunnel is cheap, but it gives low level accuracy results. The circumstantial parameters that we give are different in wind tunnel than in the real time. Agree? And the last one, CFD, is extremely cheap and the results are relative. CFD results are more accurate on supercomputers. Okay, so that's the way CFD is helpful in simulations. Here are the recommended courses in CFD. Introduction to Computational Fluid Dynamics using MATLAB and OpenFOAM, Advanced CFD using ANSYS Fluent, Computational Combustion using Python and Cantera, Advanced IC Engine Simulation, IC Engine Calibration using ZT. Here we will try to understand about FEA, Finite Elemental Analysis. What exactly is Finite Elemental Analysis? Let's take an example of a cube. For example, if you take the first cube, if I hit it up with a hammer, what would possibly can happen to that cube? It would simply break into pieces depending upon how hard we hit it, right? But we won't be able to see the miniature crack patterns inside the unbroken pieces of wood. But if we can build a cube by using Lego shaped miniature pieces of wood as shown in the adjacent image, and I hit it with a hammer, we can take these pieces apart and see how the cracks propagates inside. This can help understand the physics behind how each force affects the material and shape and help us improving the design. This is how FEA works. We replace the whole geometry of the object with smaller finite elements and we analyze each element after performing tests. The smaller elements need not necessarily be cubes. It can be of any shape depending on the whole geometry. When we solve problems using FEA, the results are approximate and they are often verified by various other methods. The accuracy of the answers depends on the size of the finite elements, but they will confirm the performance of the product. FEA is done computationally using CAE tools. Let's take another example of a cantilever beam as shown in the adjacent picture. Here, a beam is subjected to finite elemental analysis and how it will react to the stress. For example, if the force is applied on the extreme end of the beam, obviously there will be a stress acting on the various stress elements, right? The pinkish portion, the pinkish finite elements that you will see on the screen has the maximum amount of stress. Obviously this is a cantilever beam and you are applying force from the other end, so the bending moment and the bending stress will be acting at the fixed side, because the critical element will be residing in that place, right? So the stress field is concentrated more towards the fixed end. This is how FEA works. This is helpful in analyzing computations acting on any product which is acted upon by the forces. This is how FEA helps. Below are the recommended courses in FEA. LS Dyna for structural mechanics or FEA, crash-worthy analysis using hypermesh and radios, hypermesh for FEA plastic and sheet metal applications, structural meshing using ANSA, advanced structural analysis using ANSYS workbench, Python for mechanical engineers. We all know that all vehicles run on diesel or petrol. These combustion fuels are produced from non-renewable sources of energy. Because of these fuel emissions, pollution levels and climatic changes are happening all across the globe, and there is a definite need for us to shift towards cleaner energy, that is renewable energy like wind turbines and solar power. If you remember, our Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari announced in 2017 that India is aiming to have 100% electrical vehicles on roads. EVs reduce emissions that contribute to climate change and smog, improving public health and reducing ecological damage. So there is a shift in every automobile industry investing heavily in R&D and towards EV design. If I am not wrong, EV industry would be ruling in the next 10 years. So I recommend all of you to learn some courses particular to EVs, that is hybrid electric vehicle design and simulation. Below are the recommended courses which are particular to this industry. Modeling and simulation with MATLAB and Simulink, introduction to hybrid electric vehicle using MATLAB and Simulink, introduction to controls for electric vehicles, development of hybrid drives using MATLAB and Simulink, introduction to advanced driver assistance systems using MATLAB and Simulink, introduction to battery technology for electric vehicles, mathematical modeling of EV battery using MATLAB and Simulink, analysis and simulation of power converters for EV using MATLAB or Simulink and LT-Spice, digital control of power converters with C2000 using Simulink, PCB design. PCB stands for printed circuit board for beginners using Altium, basics of electromagnetic and design of BLDC motor using ANSYS. Do not panic with the terminologies and words used in this slide, because this is relatively new course for mechanical engineering. I think this is more known to electrical engineers.
Now the major question after listening to the whole presentation is, where will I find the resources to learn all these packages or softwares? Well, use apps like Coursera, Udemy, and follow YouTube channels related to CAD and CAE. Again, do not panic about the terminology that has been used in the slides. You will understand them easily once you will get hands-on experience on these softwares. Today I had covered only CAD and CAE related softwares in the whole presentation. I hope you all understand the presentation. I would like to thank RGUKT for giving me this opportunity. All the very best for your future endeavors. Stay safe, stay healthy. This is Rohit Kumar Mara signing off. Bye bye.